Pay attention to the man in this footage, the one walking several minutes behind a young woman on a quiet desert trail in North Phoenix. This was recorded on the morning of April 28, 2023, and the man you're seeing is not just another passerby out for a walk. The woman ahead of him is 29-year-old Lauren Heike, and she has no idea he is following her. To anyone watching this footage in real time, nothing would have seemed unusual. Just two people walking a familiar path, open skies, bright sun, another ordinary day in the Arizona desert. But this brief sequence hides a horrifying timeline, because only moments after the last camera captured Lauren, she would vanish, and the man behind her, the one calmly following her step for step, would soon reappear on another camera, running away from the very place where she lost her life. By the time investigators pieced these fragments together, the truth was undeniable. Lauren had been hunted. This is the full story of her final morning, the investigation that exposed her killer, and the chilling evidence suggesting he had been watching her long before her death. If you appreciate detailed, well-researched true crime documentaries, tell us where you're watching from in the comments and hit the subscribe button. It helps us spread the story of Lauren and other true crime stories to more people.
Is horrific. I'm sorry. As hard as this is for us, we're grateful because we had such a beautiful child.
She was my little girl. I'm gonna miss her terribly.
It's okay, honey.
I just hope they can find whoever did this to her.
We really, really are begging people
Please,
to come forward.
If you know something, come forward.
If you know something,
Help us out.
if you have seen something unusual, somebody wearing a backpack or a hoodie or whatever the video, it's hard to tell, in a sunny, hot day.
On the morning of Friday, April 28, 2023, Lauren Heike woke up in her Phoenix apartment with a sense of calm and routine. She belonged to a small WhatsApp group with her brother and her closest friends, a private place where they shared one simple thing each morning: gratitude. It was their way of staying grounded, staying connected, and appreciating the small things in life. That morning, Lauren wrote that she was thankful for her peaceful coffee, thankful for the quiet start to her day, and thankful for the chance to go hiking with a friend. It was her day off from work. She loved being outdoors, loved the routine of exercise and long desert walks. Even though the temperature was already rising toward triple digits, she was looking forward to the hike. Reach 11 Trail was one of her favorites. Before stepping outside, Lauren texted her boyfriend, letting him know her plans. He replied that he was heading to the gym, then home, and asked her to message him when she finished so he would know she was safe. A simple request full of ordinary concern. It was supposed to be a normal day. A warm, bright, harmless Friday. Lauren walked out of her apartment at 10:29 a.m. No one who loved her spoke to her again. For the next 24 hours, every message went unanswered. Friends sent texts. Her boyfriend called repeatedly. No one received a response. Her silence was immediate and complete. On the morning of April 29th, Lauren's manager, who was also a friend, became alarmed when she didn't show up for her shift. She was responsible, always on time, always communicative. 2 hours passed before he finally called police. Dispatch sent a patrol car to Lauren's apartment. But at almost the same moment, the 911 center received another call. One that instantly shifted the tone of the entire investigation. A hiker had discovered a woman's body along the Reach 11 Trail. She was wearing athletic clothes with one shoe off and adult blonde hair partially visible under the sun. The distance between Lauren's apartment and this location was less than a mile. The distance from the police station was even shorter. It did not take long before officers connected the missing person report with the body lying in the desert. Within hours, through identification from her Arizona DMV records and tattoo descriptions provided by her family, it was confirmed. The body was that of 29-year-old Lauren Heike. The first evidence gathered from the scene told investigators one thing clearly. This was no accident, no heat-related collapse, and no animal attack. Lauren had been stabbed more than 15 times. Some wounds were shallow, others deep, several plunging nearly 2 inches into her body. The pattern of the wounds was chilling. Every strike had come from behind. It was the kind of attack rarely associated with crimes of passion. In most domestic or personal attacks, the killer faces the victim. Here, Lauren never saw it coming. Evidence also showed she fought back fiercely. Bruising, cuts, and disrupted ground patterns revealed she had struggled, twisted, kicked, and tried desperately to break free. But her attacker was relentless. The brutality, combined with the location, a public trail near a major roadway, in daylight, made the crime extremely bold and extremely dangerous. To understand what happened, detectives turned immediately to surveillance. Reach 11 Trail, despite being a natural desert path, is surrounded by residential complexes, businesses, and areas with high security monitoring. Investigators collected more than 500 video recordings from nearby apartments, trail entrances, and surrounding streets. The footage became the turning point of the case. At 10:29 a.m., Lauren appeared on a camera leaving her apartment complex, walking alone toward the direction of the trail. She wore the same athletic clothing later recovered from the scene. Several minutes later, another camera captured her walking along Allied Way, and a moment after that, the footage captured a second figure, a man walking the same route. He appeared thin, medium complexion, short beard, wearing a black baseball cap, sunglasses, a gray t-shirt, black pants, and dark shoes with white trim. A black and red backpack sat squarely on his back. He walked casually, not rushing, not drawing attention. 2 minutes later, Lauren reappeared on another camera, and the same man was now closer behind her. He made no attempt to talk to her, no visible sign of recognition. He simply followed. Then, at 10:53 a.m., Lauren disappeared from view, captured on the last available camera. Moments later, the same man was recorded again. This time, he wasn't walking. He was running, arms pumping, feet striking the pavement in a frantic, hurried stride, as if fleeing something he desperately needed to escape. And that was all investigators needed. A timeline, a sequence, and a suspect. Police released a still image and a brief clip to the public. But behind the scenes, they already had a breakthrough that they kept hidden. DNA collected from Lauren's shoe had returned from analysis. It belonged to a man with a prior criminal record already logged in the national database. His name was William Teasley. Authorities immediately started building a profile. Teasley lived less than half a mile from the Reach 11 Trail at the Catherine Townhomes near Scottsdale Road. He had recently been living with his mother, a probation department surveillance officer, a cruel irony that did not go unnoticed by investigators. His criminal history was extensive. In 2020, he had been arrested and charged with 13 felonies, including armed robbery, burglary, multiple counts of kidnapping, disorderly conduct with a weapon, aggravated assault, and theft. All of the charges involved weapons. Several involved threatening or intimidating women working in convenience stores. He ultimately accepted a plea deal. 10 charges were dropped, and he served time for 3: disorderly conduct with a weapon, robbery, and armed robbery. In prison, he was classified medium to low risk and released in late 2022. After his release, he found work in a clothing and sporting goods store, until he was fired for aggressive behavior toward female employees and for theft. When police later showed store staff the surveillance images from the trail, they recognized Zion immediately. They also confirmed that the clothes he wore in the footage matched items stolen from the store. There was more.
Last Friday, at about 10 in the morning, Lauren was hiking on a trail
as the picture
in the area of 65th Street and Libby Lane in North Phoenix. Lauren was attacked from behind and died as a result of her injuries. We have released a brief video clip and a still image from one of the cameras. We are looking for a male between 5'8" and 6 foot tall, wearing dark clothing and a backpack. We believe someone would have noticed this person either before the attack or after he fled from our scene. We ask anyone with any information to contact Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS or for Spanish language, 480-TESTIGO. We will exhaust every resource to bring justice to Lauren and her family. We just ask for any measure of assistance that we can get from the community.
Obviously, she was beautiful, and she was beautiful inside and out. She had such a kind heart. Everybody who met her loved her. She was super funny. She was just a sweet child, just everything to us. They are always your babies, but even her, she just was. But she lived here, and she hadn't lived in that apartment too long, but she loved it. She loved this area. She had so many friends, and she was always happy. She would call. We don't live. We are out of town, and I talked to her every single day, at least once or twice a day, and texted. And every phone call ended with "I love you, Mom," and every text ended that way. Is horrific. I'm sorry. As hard as this is for us, we're grateful because we had such a beautiful child. We feel like we're grateful she had beautiful friends. We have been bombarded. Everybody who has ever met her says she was so sweet and so kind and so loving, and they loved her. And we take a lot of comfort in that. We know that person, and we're grateful for all the people who have reached out. And we're happy that her last moments, she loved to exercise. She was walking, and we know she was happy. She went out that morning on a beautiful day to do what she does every day. And we just want the world to know what a sweet person she was and what she meant to us and to our family, and what a void it leaves for us. But we also know that this dark period, we'll have her memories, and we will love her every minute that we are on this earth.
Yeah.
You know?
She was my little girl. I'm going to miss her terribly.
It's okay, honey.
I just hope they can find whoever did this to her.
We really, really are begging people
Please,
to come forward.
if you know something, come forward.
If you know something,
Help us out.
if you have seen something unusual, somebody wearing a backpack or a hoodie or whatever the video, it's hard to tell, in a sunny, hot day, that person will stand out. And when you've done something, you are going to be unusual. If you think it might be something, if you have an inkling, please contact the police. We're praying that all of you people will help us.
I know someone knows something that can help us.
We want her to just be remembered, and we want people to help and just know she's so beautiful and sweet, and very sweet. Like, we did worry because she was so nice to everybody. If she was in the store, I would always say to her, "Lauren, you can't trust everybody."
Yeah.
But she was that kind of person, and we wouldn't trade that personality for anything, because that's the person we love. So, Riv?
Yeah, no, she just, she definitely had the ability to change anybody's life. No matter what they were going through, if you interacted with Lauren, she was just an amazing individual. And I just want everyone to dig as deep as you can to find anything or any type of information that just leads to finding out who did this to her, because I mean, she woke up that day just so happy, and we just can't imagine what could have happened to her. So it's just, please, like, dig deep as you can.
Police began monitoring Zion's home. What they discovered raised immediate alarm. Zion had bought a one-way plane ticket to Detroit, scheduled for May 4th, just 6 days after the murder. It suggested one thing clearly: he was preparing to flee. Officers arrested him before he could leave. During questioning, Zion initially denied being the man in the surveillance footage. He denied following Lauren. He denied being near the trail. But when detectives confronted him with the DNA evidence, his denials fell apart. He eventually admitted attacking Lauren, though his explanations were contradictory. He told detectives he struggled with jealousy, confusion over his identity, and feelings tied to religious guilt. He expressed resentment toward women. He claimed the attack was not sexually motivated, a statement supported by the autopsy, which confirmed no sexual assault. Investigators were unconvinced by his shifting motives. They saw a different pattern. A man with a history of aggression toward women, caught on camera stalking a stranger, armed with a knife, dressed to obscure himself, and prepared to flee the state. The murder did not appear random. It appeared deliberate. While Zion was being processed and quietly booked, police held a press conference. The public saw grieving parents pleading for answers, begging the community for any piece of information that might identify the man in the footage. But most people did not know the truth. Police already had their suspect. The press conference was part of a broader strategy to protect the integrity of the investigation. The public's response was immediate. A flood of calls came in to the silent witness tip line. Multiple community members reported seeing the same man before. Neighbors recognized him. Workers recognized him. People who lived near the trail recalled his behavior. By the time police collected the final statements, they had more than enough evidence to confirm their primary suspect. Just as the case appeared ready to move toward trial, a shocking development emerged. A woman contacted police after seeing Zion's face in news reports. 3 years earlier, in January 2020, she had been attacked outside her apartment near 43rd Street and Thunderbird Road, roughly 7 miles south of where Lauren's body was later found. She had been taking out her garbage when a man forced his way toward her door and stabbed her in the face and collarbone. She managed to fight him off, kicking him repeatedly before he fled and jumped a nearby wall. At the time, police questioned witnesses but made no arrest. A photo lineup was prepared, but inexplicably never shown to the victim. The case went cold. Until now, 19 days after Lauren's death, detectives showed the 2020 victim a new set of images. This time, she identified Zion immediately. Investigators now believed Lauren's murder was not a standalone event. It may have been part of a pattern or escalation of violence targeting women. On June 23, 2023, Zion was officially charged with attempted murder for the 2020 attack. With 2 violent cases now linked to the same suspect, prosecutors pushed for the strongest possible penalty. They announced their intent to pursue the death penalty for the murder of Lauren Heike. Due to the complexity of the combined charges, the volume of evidence, and the need to coordinate with the earlier case, Zion's trial, originally expected for 2025, was rescheduled for January 2027. As the legal process moves forward, one final question continues to haunt those who followed the case. Was the attack on Lauren truly random? On paper, investigators initially believed so, but the surveillance footage implied otherwise. The hoodie worn in scorching heat, the sunglasses, the stolen clothing, the knife carried regularly, the structured, methodical walk behind Lauren, and the sudden sprint away from the scene. These are not the actions of someone who simply snapped. They are the actions of someone who made a decision. Lauren had recently moved into her apartment. She walked those trails often. Zion lived within walking distance of both the trail entrance and her housing complex. To many, including those closest to the case, the truth seems clear. This was not random. It was calculated. A young woman full of life, kindness, and gratitude lost everything on a morning that should have been ordinary. Her final messages were full of joy and simplicity. Coffee, sunshine, friendship, plans for the day. She never saw the danger just steps behind her. And the silent figure following her never intended to let her return home. If you appreciate in-depth, carefully researched true crime documentaries, consider subscribing. It helps keep these stories alive and ensures the victims are never forgotten. Every story matters. Every life matters. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.